Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this 3, 5, and 10-minute makeup look. So just depending on how much time you have, that's how much time you can spend. So let's begin. With the first look, this is my 3-minute makeup look, and I started timing it, but then I decided it was too much. So I'm starting off with the stuff that I put in this train case to make it easier, and this is my Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizing Primer. Then I'm using the Brow Gal Tinted Brow gel thing that I recently got in my BoxyCharm, and this is the shade for dark brown hair. And I really like this stuff because it makes it so quick to fill in your brows on the go. Then I'm just going to use a little bit of my Hard Candy color corrector. You don't have to do this, but I always have to do this because if not, my dark circles are real. So I'm just blending it out with my fingers, and then I'm using my ColourPop No Filter Concealer, which you guys know is my favorite concealer ever. So I'm just putting a little bit on. I try to do this as quickly as I can because when you don't have a lot of time, you kind of just have to go. So I started blending it out with my fingers, but the formula is just, it is so thin that it spreads out so much that I needed to use a brush. So on my other eye, I just used my Crown Brushes brush that I usually use, and it was so much faster. So I'm just blending it out like a mad woman here. And then I'm using my BB cream from LA Girl, and this is in the shade medium or medium dark, I think. And I'm just using my Morphe stippling brush. I like using this brush because it gives me a nice flawless finish. You can use your fingers if you want, or whatever else you have. And I try not editing out as much of this video so that way I can show you guys how long it really takes me. And I did time myself for everything. This did take me 3 minutes to do. So then I'm going to go ahead and use some of my Tarte Tinted Lip Balm, and I'm just putting that right on top of my lips just to add a little bit of color. And then I'm just topping off my lashes with a little bit of my Tarte Gifted Mascara. I usually take a while with mascara because I don't have lashes like crazy, but I just was doing this really quickly because I wanted to do it under 3 minutes. So just quickly coat your lashes. And like I said, I'm trying not to cut out as much of this video so that way you guys can see how long it takes me to actually do these steps. So this is about 30 seconds or so of my makeup routine alone. And never forget to do your bottom lashes because it just really completes the whole look. And then once that's done, that's it for your 3-minute look. So this is what it looks like. So if you only have 5 minutes, so this is an additional 2 minutes that it's taking me. So then I just go ahead and put a little bit of brightening powder underneath my eyes and set the rest of my face. And I'm using this Black Radiance translucent powder. And I also set the eyes too, because then I use a little bit of my bronzer. This is my Tarte Hotel Heiress bronzer. I tried using as many drugstore products as I could, but there are just some products that I don't have a drugstore favorite for. So I'm putting that in my crease as well as on my cheeks to contour a little bit, around my jawline, and on my forehead, just to kind of give me a little bit of color. And then I'm using my e.l.f. This is actually a powder, but it's super red, so I don't see who would use it as a powder. So I'm using that as blush, and then I'm using the Bonnie Luminizer, and I'm using that on a Wet n Wild fan brush that was only $1, and it just makes my skin look super glowy and nice and healthy. And I'm also using a little bit of that in the inner corner of my eye, just to really waking it up and just to add a little bit more pop. And then this is optional, you don't have to do this, but I'm just tightlining my eyes because I find that it makes my lashes look a little bit more thicker than what they really are. So I'm using the Vintage Cosmetics eyeliner that came in one of my BoxyCharms. So I don't know if this is drugstore, but I really like the formula of this. I like a kohl eyeliner for this step. And then I just go ahead and quickly smudge it out if I get it on my upper lash line, because sometimes I do when I'm trying to get really close to my lashes. And since I already had mascara on, it made it a little harder to do. And then that's it for that look. So then if you have 10 minutes, which is awesome, you can start off by defining your brows. And this is the NYX 3-in-1, which is awesome because it has the eyebrow pencil, it has an eyebrow powder, and it has the tinted gel that just adds a little bit of color and keeps the brows in place. So if I have a little bit of extra time, I always like defining my brows just because it really frames the face and just makes you look a little bit more put together. And if I mess up, I just kind of use my finger to just go ahead and clean that. And by the way, this is in the shade Brunette. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I used all 3 products in this for this part of the video. You don't have to do all three if you don't want to. If you only have time for the one, then that's good. You can use whichever one of the three that you prefer, but I always like defining the brows, and especially since this brow on this side is very, very messed up, I'm letting them grow out. I can see the hairs from here. It's just so, so bad. So yep, here's the powder part of it. So I'm just using that to fill in the bald patches, just because I don't have time to really go and draw in lines of hair. And then I'm just setting everything in place. You don't have to do this last step, but I just did it just to show you guys that you can do this in 10 minutes. So then you can either use a shimmery eyeshadow palette or a shimmery single shadow. I like using the ColourPop, I forget what these are called, the ColourPop eyeshadows. I cannot believe I forget what they're called. But anyways, I'm using this coppery shade, and this I like applying it with my fingers because of the fact that I get the most pigmentation, and a lot of these have glitter in them. And I find that when you apply it with your fingers versus a brush or anything else, that you can really, really see the glitter in it. And I'm going to just zoom you guys in really close so that way you guys can see the pretty glitter that is in this eyeshadow. And then if you want to, you can quickly line your eyes. I'm just kind of defining that lash line a little bit, but I'm not doing a wing or anything crazy like that. And then I like doing this step if I have time. I'm just using some translucent powder and putting it on the sides of my nose, and this gives me a natural contour for my nose. Just makes my face look more defined. And then I'm using a little bit of the ColourPop Lippy primer, and I'm using some lip liner on my lips. And if I have extra time, I always like wearing a bold lip with this kind of minimal makeup look, because I feel like it just really makes it look like you spent a lot of time on your makeup, when in reality you're just putting a nice bold lip. So then I'm using, this is the shade Rev, I don't know how to say that, from Kathleen times ColourPop. So it's a really bold orange color. You can leave it like that, but I decided to add a little bit more of the brown lip liner just to kind of mute it down a little bit and make it look more wearable. But I really, really like these orangey colors. And then I'm just dusting off that powder from the sides of my nose. And that's it for my 10-minute look, but just wanted to show you guys that you can pair it with any lip color. This is my favorite lip color for on the go. It's called More Better from ColourPop. So I hope you guys did enjoy this really quick 3, 5, and 10-minute makeup video, and let me know what your guys' routine is. I'll see you guys in the next one.